Engineers have been working, and we don't want specifics, because I know that you all are particular about that. But we do ask that maybe the Corps of Engineers work with our staff and drainage districts so that we can start building and rebuilding our levees. And as we know, as we said, we're building $40 million of new structure, and that we try to cooperate in that sense. So with that, I don't know if you want to make a couple of comments, and I appreciate your time this afternoon.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Senator. Thanks for being here. I want to thank you all for taking the time out of your busy schedules to talk about this issue and giving us an opportunity to show you what the operational requirement is and how important this project is for the county itself, for the people that are involved, but also for us. I just would like to make it clear with regard to our project and with regard to DHS, my responsibility is to identify what the security concerns are and develop plans and operational requirements to meet that threat. And we are not yet in the situation where we're ready to do a detailed construction plan. Where we're at now is we have, as the Rio Grande Valley sectors, your representatives of the operation here on the ground, what we've done is the first step in the process, and the first step of that four-step process is to identify what the operational requirement is, and that's where we're at. And also to be clear, since we have folks from the media represented here, we're not building a wall from the territory that I'm responsible for. The mouth of the Rio Grande River at Brownsville all the way to Falcon Dam. It's 316 miles of the U.S.-Mexico border. We're not building a wall there. What we've done is we've established an operational requirement for particular parts of the border where we think fencing as a terrain feature will help us do our job more efficiently. Now, the fencing will not solve the problem. That has to be accompanied by personnel and the technology to monitor those areas and to queue our responses. What we're looking for is a way for us to be operationally more efficient. And that's the first step of the process. We've made our operational assessments. Some of you have seen illustrations, not actual detailed plans, but illustrations of what that operational assessment has given us. That now is fed back into the next three steps of the process, which will be to go out and talk to folks about impacts of fencing, about particular landowners, because much of the private land here along the border, or much of the land along the border is owned by private people. And so we're in consultation with landowners, city entities, and counties that are responsible for that land along the river. That's the second step of the process. We're in dialogue with folks about potential impacts. The third part, and probably the most important, is the environmental assessment. What are the concerns for the habitat and the species that are in the area? Going back a little bit in step two, Commissioner Marin was very helpful in identifying potential concerns with regard to his responsibilities under the treaty, our responsibilities as a country under the treaty, and what we can and can't do inside the floodway and along with the levee. So our plans are going to take that into account. The last step of the process is sort of the engineering part of it. That's where real smart people that know about the weights and the times and the construction projects are going to look at all of the facets that we've put together, our operational requirement, and then there's a final assessment that will be made whether we go forward or not. And it will include the plans that cities have to improve the river environment or to improve the levees overall. So we're going to have all of that as part of the mix going forward, and then a final assessment will be made, and then we will get to the point where you can make a detailed construction plan going forward. And those are the four steps, and I want everybody to understand where they're at. And what we're hearing today of a new proposal is something that will be configured in sort of the local input and the stakeholder input, people who are responsible for this part of the border.